Hello and welcome to another session of Kitsch Witch Tarot where we're kitschy and witchy. Pardon me, I'm still recovering from that cold from last month, so forgive me when I have to clear my throat. I wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, it's January 14th, 2026, and we're going to do a shorter reading here. That's why it's all laid out. I'm using the colorful neon tarot deck that's in the Spirit of Rider-Waite, and I'm clarifying them with Kipperish deck by Kev. I want to say that I've decided to start doing reversals with tarot cards. I've been considering it for a few months, and I see that there is value in that, and that what I read when I first taught myself wasn't necessarily the entire picture. It said cards don't need reversals. They tell you what they need to without it, and although they do, reversals lend a great deal of enlightenment and deeper introspection than you would normally get, especially with just day-to-day specific things that normally I wouldn't have picked up on. So I'm doing reversals now. I found a new lady who is a reader, but she's more than a reader. She gets downloads and is psychic, and the cards are just a tool, and she does them outside amongst all her animals and wildlife, and it's the animals that speak to her. And every time she says something really profound to me, the rooster crows. And she kind of sometimes apologizes, and I told her, don't apologize. That rooster crows as clarification, confirmation every time something you say is profound meaning to me. That's which I think everything she says is directly a message to me. She's picking up these downloads and says it's for somebody, and it's clear to me it's always from my dad. And the first one I saw said, there's a message from your dad, and I thought, who is this person? I've never seen her before, but my dad has been in contact with me since he's been gone, and he's found a new, clever, and more effective way to communicate with me now, and it's through her, and it's through my cards. A few days before I found her, I noticed my cards were lining up consistently over and over through no matter what deck I use, in a way that cards just don't line up like that. They will once in a while, but not consistently over and over. It's like somebody deliberately set them up, and the message was clear. And I said, okay, somebody's setting this up. This is not random. And I knew immediately that over and over, same cards, different decks coming up, cards that are right next to each other, very significant, that never come up together consistently. It's like, okay, who's doing this? Somebody is setting these up deliberately. It's not random. You can tell. I've done this 22 years. I can tell. And then I find this lady, and it's a message from my dad, and she even said red is significant at the beginning of the video, and that's what hooked me. I went, oh my God, that is my dad. And I won't tell you the story, but before he died, something very significant about the color red happened between us. It was kind of a fun exchange that had a couple of layers to it, and yeah. And then this card has the picture with the message on it, the message card in Kev's deck. The guy's wearing a red shirt. This was about a red shirt my dad was wearing. And I noticed that as soon as I saw that video, I started to do a reading, and that card popped out, and I went, the card that says message, he's wearing a red shirt, and the thought bubble has a red exclamation mark in it. And I just went, oh my God. It's obvious it's for me, for my dad. All her videos, I've watched several of them so far, and the messages are all for me. And I assume that they, are relevant to other people too. But I mean, everything she says is relevant to me. Anyway, so I wanted to also mention that I've been getting downloads like that. My intuition has taken a turn. I hate this word psychic. I don't like using that. A lot of people are true psychics, and that's fine, but it's an overused word that hacks use who aren't real psychics. And I just didn't want to associate myself with that word, but really I've become psychic. I'm getting these downloads. And how you know what's you and what the download is, when you come up with something, there's a thought process in your head. You've cogitated, and you've had this thought process and come up with a conclusion. You've molded over in some form, at least for a couple of seconds. But a download is when the information mysteriously enters your brain, and you don't know how you know it or where it came from, but it's just there. That's a download. And when you pay attention to them and act on them and recognize them, you start getting them all the time. And this is how you develop your psychic awareness. So anyway, I'm also a healer. I'm a double earth witch and an earth angel, they call it, a healer. And I'm Capricorn sun, Virgo moon. My granddaughter's a Taurus. We got the earth signs covered here. And yeah, I'm an earth witch. I get these downloads. My readings are taking a turn for the intuitive. I'm upgrading this to being a healer. I'm incorporating that I'm a healer. I've been self-taught almost a year now in healing with color, and I make color water, and I make moon water, and I'm learning how to incorporate stones and crystals and herbs and all this stuff. I'm a healer, And I knew that 22 years ago when I first picked up a book that said shaman. I knew, without even knowing what that was, I said, shaman, that's me. It called to me, and I looked it up, and it was a healer. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And I've always resonated with that. And now those abilities are coming out. I've had an upgrade. 2026 is the year of upgrades, guys. I've had my upgrade, and I hope you get yours too. We're working on that. I want you to ride this wave with me. My channel is just slow right now. I just started out, but it's going to grow. I'm telling you, I've gotten a lot of messages lately, and then the cards. My dad is obviously, especially now that I recognize it, he's obviously communicating with me through that woman and through the cards. And I'm just so excited. I'm getting these upgrades and these downloads, and it's freaking wonderful, and I want to share everything with you guys. I'm excited, and I want you to be here with me. I don't have my upgrades yet with my equipment, the lighting, the microphone. Not yet. We've been busy. My son's been sick, and he's got to help me do this. But anyway, let's move on. I want to do some shorts, because with YouTube, it doesn't matter how many subscribers or how many likes you get. It's the views. So, and they value having a lot of shorts. That is one thing they take into consideration when they decide if you could do commercials and make money at it and all this other stuff. If they're going to upgrade you and show your channel to people, pardon me, and I'm really getting excited for that to happen. And I want you guys to be here with me when we just start out, because it's more special now. It's going to start getting bigger, and it's going to be greater in a lot of ways, but it's not going to be as personalized. And I'm going to miss that part. I'm going to try to keep it personalized and not get to be too popular and just churn videos out just because, you know, it's a numbers game. It's not like that with me. I'm in this for quality, not quantity. And that's really been that's really been kind of the guidestone of my life. Is my dad was that way, and we've always lived that way. It's quality. And I've always lived that way. I've always had a small circle of quality friends, or I thought were quality friends, over a large circle. I'm that way on Facebook. I have 30 friends now. I had 31, and it dropped to 30, and I noticed that nobody dropped out, that Facebook doesn't count correctly. I really only have 25. Now they're saying I have 30. So it's like they like to play games with me. Meta doesn't like me because I'm a heretic. I speak the truth, and I don't give a damn what they have to say or what kind of phony jail they want to put me in, and I just stand up to them. I don't take crap from bullies. My older brother has always been a bully. He's the piece of crap. He's the flying monkey in my life. The last video is about the thief. I was saying, I don't know how this applies to me. Well, it does. It's him. He's shown his true fangs now that my dad's gone and my mother's on her deathbed. And he's stealing everything. He's cutting off contact with all of us, with her, except for my brother, who he hasn't spoken to in 20 years since he broke his jaw. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, he's the flying monkey, and we've decided he's not worth our energy anymore. He's not getting a response. We're not playing ball with him anymore. We're rising so high that he can't even affect us anymore. But when we get to this part about this reading, yeah, that's how it is in my life. He's the flying monkey, and we've had to protect our energy. Even though we are protected, you have ancestral protection, you have your spirit guides and your angels protecting you. I was told there's a spirit team that my dad isn't, heading up, that are working hard with all this injustice in our lives we've had to deal with, and this is what's leveling us up, though. All of this is what is leveling us up. So, yeah, let's get into this reading, and you'll see how this is relevant. First of all, I want to do all of my wonderful little self-care, self-help cards, because I am a healer, and I want to help people heal, and I want to share all these wonderful cards with you. First, we're going to do Froggy. Everybody's familiar with Froggy's self-care. My trauma doesn't make me less lovable. Our trauma doesn't make us less Our trauma doesn't make us less lovable. It makes us more lovable because we're stronger. We get into our power and we level up. And the trauma that I've had to deal with for 22 years is still ongoing. It's different than it started, but it's still there. And it's just, when you raise your vibration and your light shines, it attracts the darkness to, just like little crabs in a bucket, want to pull you back down with them. They don't want you to get away. And guess what? You just have to keep going and turn your back on that, and don't give them your energy. Your energy is what, any energy, negative or otherwise, is what gives them the power to drag you back down. So we walked away, turned our back on that, didn't give him the energy and the negativity he wanted, and guess what? We've leveled up. It's amazing what will happen when you stick to your boundaries and you turn away from that stuff and raise your vibration. It's amazing. the doors that open for you. Now I have another deck called the Enchanted Map. It's a really wonderful deck with beautiful illustrations. And I chose a card deliberately because it's called Field of Dreams, and it shows 3 fairies on eggs. And it's card 21, and it's the fairies waiting to grant your wishes, and it's also you. You have your wings now. You can fly. And that's so interesting because I shuffled the deck and let one come out on its own. And what came out on its own was the card number 20. And it was flying. It was the unicorn who finally got his wings and is flying. And that is, I don't want to say metaphor, but that is a simile. That is a message of you finally have your wings. You've leveled up. We're leveling up, you guys. And that's what this is, okay? These 2 cards right here. These 2 cards. Field of Dreams. You've got your wings. Flying. You're flying. We're all flying now. We've all leveled up. And that's what these cards mean. Okay? And we'll put these back in here. Put the froggy. We have one more. My Higher Intentions Oracle deck I've had for years. It's Find Your Voice. Little froggy is croaking. Find your voice. And that's what this is all about. Finding your voice and being your authentic self. Okay. Oops. Those are supposed to go in there. Let's see here. Try to put those in there and keep that over there. And then we have these. Little froggers. Then we have these. The chakra we're dealing with today is the throat chakra. It's the blue, resonates to the color blue, and it is, you are an expression of the divine. We are all an expression of the divine. We are the divine. Okay? The part is the sum of the whole. Remember that. And then we have the Moonology card that came out on its own, New Moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. That's all there is, guys, is love. All the rest is illusion. Love is all there is. And this magical spell card from my mermaid deck. Spell card number 10, Authenticity. Be your authentic self. Isn't that what this has been saying? Authenticity. You'd be surprised when you are your authentic self. You start attracting those people in your soul tribe, those people who align with you. When you fill yourself up with people who are inauthentic because you're not being authentic, there's no room for the people who are authentic to come in. You're not attracting them because you're not putting out that signal. Alright? Be your authentic self. It's amazing when I started being my 100% authentic self and not holding back who I really am, telling people I'm an earth witch and all this stuff. The doors that have opened for me and the leveling up I've gotten is amazing. And that's what I'm trying to tell you today. Pardon me. Okay, so the reading was, the Five of Wands was the first card. Five of Wands is the card of possible confusion. You know, look at all the confusion here. And this looks like you've been into some confusion, but now it's lifting because it's reversed. And I did the whole reading with the 2 rows of the 4 plus the extra one that came out. And then I laid the Kipperish to clarify down after that, and confusion, illusion. Perfect. It's the exact meaning of this card. Confusion, illusion, that's lifting. Second card came out as the 4 cups. That's the card of you rejecting something. You got 3 cups, so you're rejecting something. There's something coming in that is not good for you, and you're rejecting that. And the card that clarified that is moving on. You're moving on to something better, and you know what to accept and what not to accept, okay? So there you go. Leveling up, moving on. And then you come to this card, which is the Magician reversed, which is somebody who's inauthentic, somebody who's manipulating you, lying, possibly putting in bad intentions and spell work on you. Magician, not good. And then the Flying Monkey is what clarified him. I couldn't have gotten a better card to clarify that if I'd have chose it myself. Flying Monkey. I know who the Flying Monkey in my life is now. It's my older brother. The Usual Suspects. So now the Thief and all those cards that didn't make sense to me before, they make sense. He showed his true colors and his fangs. So then we have the next card after that. Oh, and the energy of this reading card was the Hanged Man. And then what clarified the Hangman is work, labor, efforts, rewards for work, labor, and efforts. It's card 38, which is an 11. It's the master number. And the Hangman, you looked at something from a different point of view. You're hanging around. You're being rewarded for your work, labor, and efforts and all that you've suffered at these flying hands of the flying monkeys here. Next card, Ace of Swords, reversed. Some kind of communication has been held back, possibly from the flying monkey, something that you didn't know, which now I do know. So this is a ritual. You got a flying monkey, you need to protect your energy. Even if it's just saying an affirmation every day that your energy is protected, you're protected by a white divine light that no lower vibrations can penetrate, and you and your loved ones. Or you can light candles, you can use Palo Santo sage, salt, you can use crystals, cleansing salt, witch's salt, purifying salt. It's just saying protect yourself. Maybe it means protect yourself by holding back information. You don't need to tell everybody everything. Some people will use it against you. Not everybody is a sheep. Sometimes they're really wolves in sheep's clothing. And then your ending card at the top row is the Four of Wands. That is the 1111 portal. Those two wands on each side. You successfully made it. You leveled up. Successful collaboration. Marriage to some people. It can indicate marriage. And it's interesting, the card that clarified that is a love spell card, which doesn't mean literal. It just means that this is the card of possible marriage, successful collaboration, and happiness. It means you're attracting love. Put out what you want to attract, because you attract what you put out. Okay, second row. Ten of Pentacles. Happily ever after. It indicates success in all your endeavors, and possibly happy wife, happy life. There's people, family in the background, so along with in lead with the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, success. Monetarily so, especially. Oh, sorry, the one that clarified that is nice guy, because you're a nice guy. You're a star seed, and you're going to get what you have coming to you, which is success in all ways. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The karmic wheel is upside down, but guess what? It's turning. It's just going slow. Being upside down just means it's going really slow. Your karma is coming. It's just slow. Mature woman is what clarified that, meaning you're waiting for your karma and your gifts to mature and come in, which are imminent. Okay, the next card we have, King of Swords, which is also the King of Communication. Could indicate possibly holding back communication, especially with the cards around it. Holding back, both reverse. Something's being held back, or you need to hold something back. Enamor. That's the card that crossed the King of Swords. It's love energy. It's you and your higher self and your higher power, so that's where it's leading. The next card in the row is Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups this way is walking away from something upright. Reverse, it means that you're not walking away anymore. Okay, you're walking towards something meaningful, because this is the one that crossed it. Moving on, you're deliberately walking towards something meaningful and not just walking away from something that didn't serve you, but now deliberately walking towards something that does. And then the next card is the Four of Swords reversed. Four Swords upright means healing, a pause, reflection, self-imposed, taking a break. Reversed, it means, in this case especially, reversed, it means not healing. It means the opposite of healing. And the card that crossed it is opposition. So whoever that flying monkey is, whoever's been opposing you, all their energy is going back on them, because we're the divine, protected, collective, and we can't be touched. You raise your vibration, can't touch you. So it's all going back on them, because lower vibrations can't touch higher vibrations. It all just slaps them in the face. And that's what this means. This is the opposite of healing. So this means your opposition is getting what they tried to put on you, which is exactly what we know is happening and want to happen. And then we got one extra card. It's the Nine of Pentacles reversed. It just means when it's upright, it means slow moving action, nothing happening, going really slow. So the opposite is like things are starting to move forward now. And this card clarifies that, because it's the card of the guy saying hello. You have something new and nice and in your alignment coming in, and it's starting. The energy has turned and it's starting to come now. Okay, everybody, that is wonderful news. I'm going to be doing some more shorts. I don't know if I can do more today, but I will be, and I hope you stick with me. Ride this out with me. This is going someplace, and I want you guys to be the people who helped me start this, because you're very special to me. The ones I invited to my channel so far are very special to people to me, and I want to shout out to every one of you. Love you, love you, love you, and ciao for now. Come back soon.